Hello, I'm Paddy from creativemedia.org.uk, and I like making picture frames out of scrap woods, like this.
Hello, we're pieces of scrap wood.
Yeah, indeed. And as you may well notice, these pieces are all different widths. And to make a good picture frame, not only do you have to get the mitre angles, the 45-degree angles at the corners pretty much perfect, otherwise everything goes wonky, but having the picture frame sides same width as well makes a big difference. Cutting these things lengthwise to be the same width with a handsaw is time consuming and difficult to get straight. So I got myself a track saw because I don't really have space for a bandsaw, and certainly don't have space for a circular saw like a table saw. And I thought I could magically just zoom along these things and cut them all to the same width. But not at all easy, I found. I tried attaching them to the track with all kinds of clamps, and invariably you'd get the measurements wrong, or something would slip, or the actual whole cut would be like a long curve, so the width would mess up. And I'm feeling totally stupid because it took me ages to work out a really simple way to do it. So in case you've been as stupid as me and not thought of this, here's how I do it. I've got my piece of wood here. This is a clearly scrappy bit of wood, about 7 centimetres wide at one end and all cracked off and broken at the other end, but I could get 2-3 centimetre wide pieces of wood out of this and make a small picture frame. First I'm going to put it on some grass. I'm pushing in a couple of nails to stop the wood sliding forward and backwards, making sure the nails are not going to touch the saw. That's important. My saw handle has some holes in the bottom which I'm going to use to screw on a guide. So I'm going to measure on the saw and put my guide in a position where the saw will run along the side of the wood. I've done that, and I'm just going to do the sawing now. I'm going to set the saw depth so it's just over the width of the wood. So I really don't want to saw into the grass at all because there may well be stones and things there, and that would be bad for my saw. So I'm sawing along that, and I've done one side, and now I'm going to turn things around and do the other side. And since I'm using the same guide, these should be the same width. Here are my two finished pieces, and they are pretty much, by my standards, the same width. I've measured them along and they're pretty much spot on 29mm, and useful pieces of wood. And I could do the same with any of these other bits. Of course, if they're different thicknesses, then there's not much you can do about that, unless you do a lot of planing, or you've got some nice machine gadgets to do the thickness. I hope that's solved the problem for you. If you had a problem, subscribe to my channel if you like what I do, and enjoy your woodworking. See you soon.